This week has been pretty crazy. The MLB League Championship Series are set. More upsets in college football, and the Heat live to fight another day. Another week, another jam-packed episode of Top of the Standings full of predictions, hot takes, and more, brought to you by your hosts Andrew Hale and Jotham Israel. But before we get into this exciting episode, here's a word from our amazing sponsor, Anchor.
Anchor is a completely free and easy-to-use platform for podcasting. A computer or even a mobile device with a functional internal or external microphone is all you need to start recording your podcast with Anchor. When you do finish recording your podcast audio, you can simply edit it and upload it to the biggest podcasting platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and more. If you were like me and you didn't have the foggiest clue on how to start a podcast, then Anchor is the perfect place to start. For more information, go to anchor.fm on the web or download the Anchor app on your mobile device.
Just when we thought the Heat were down for the count, and we didn't even think they were going to get past Game 4, look where we are at now.
Yes, dude. I'm happy. I'm happy they proved me wrong because this series has just gotten real juicy. I know Lakers fans are looking like, okay, if you're a Lakers fan, you got to think, okay, the first one, they put up a good fight. No Bam Adebayo, no Goran Dragic. Jimmy Butler got his game in. He got his one game of fame in and stuff like that. Loss number 2, guys, you're right there. Title is right there. Go get it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Lakers' second loss was a crazy game. That was an insane game. Jimmy Butler, literally, I'm pretty sure he played most of the game. I don't know if he even took a break the entire game.
47
Which
minutes.
47 minutes, which that was impressive. You could tell he was done. I think I watched like the post game interviews, the press conference, and dude couldn't even walk off the stage without like limping basically, which it's crazy. But that was an insane game. I honestly thought that KCP was about to get a ring, and I guess he'll have to wait another day, or maybe not at all. But man, that was an exciting game.
Yeah, and dude, not only was that an exciting game, that was a game that lit up social media, bro. I know people was roasting Danny Green and Markieff Morris, bro. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, this entire postseason has been very, very bad from Danny Green. I mean, I had never seen him miss so many shots, and not even miss, but like airball, and just not even getting close to making his normal three. Like this man last year for the Raptors was really good. He was
mhm.
lighting it up. Same with the Spurs when he won the championship in San Antonio. He lights it up. I don't know what happened this year, but he has not looked great in the postseason whatsoever. And yeah, about Markieff Morris, that was very anticlimactic. I mean, I was about to say, I mentioned KCP a few minutes ago, but KCP and Markieff Morris getting a ring before Blake Griffin really doesn't sit right with me, because Markieff Morris, the Pistons bottom out this season. He literally played with the Detroit Pistons this season. It's just so weird, but that was a very mental mistake. I mean, I get what he was trying to do, trying to pass the ball inside to Anthony Davis, but I don't know who he was passing it to. Passed it like 4 feet out of bounds.
Like, dude, the first bounce was out of bounds. That's how bad the pass was. And Bam Adebayo had a good box out on him. I don't know what made him think he could get that ball inside with the nerves going through your arms like that. Crunch time. What made you think that you could pinpoint? You are a forward. You are a big forward. How on earth did you think you were going to complete that pass with Bam Adebayo boxing out your boy AD? How did you think that was going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely I like the play, honestly. If it was a good pass, I had faith in Anthony Davis to catch it and just lay it in. But you have to take steps to get there, and the first step you need to take is make a good pass. So he messed up from the start.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about this, bro? LeBron was 3-0 in closeout games in the finals. 3-0. The Lakers were 4-0 in the Black Mamba jerseys. And bro, they were basically trying to plan a funeral for the Miami Heat. and they said, no, we coming out of the grave that you trying to dig us in. We gonna force a game 6. We gonna try to force a game 7 tonight, and we gonna see what happens from there on. But we are not getting eliminated like this. This is not y'all. This is not the Laker party. You are still in our state, my guys.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to talk about Duncan Robinson.
Oh,
I honestly, how is he so good? Why is he so good? What happened? Because I remember watching him against Michigan State when he played at Michigan in the Big Ten champ. I don't think it. I think it was just in the tournament. It was in one of the earlier rounds in the Big Ten tournament. And he really annoyed me because I mean, I wouldn't say he was like fantastic with Michigan because he honestly has leveled up since he has come into the NBA. What has happened? Why is he so good?
I mean, maybe it's the Heat culture, and he's got Jimmy Butler on his team as a motivator. But dude, everybody on the Miami Heat is stepping up in ways that everybody's looking at Miami Heat like, bro, who is on their team other than Jimmy Butler, bro? And everybody wants to think that Bam Adebayo is a scrub. This man is a stud. Bam Adebayo is a stud, and Tyler Hero's coming into his own. He's the youngest guy in the playoffs right now. He's finessing in the finals, bro. Yeah, he's had a bad game here and there, but he's stepping up. And then obviously we just talked about Duncan Robinson. And Kendrick Nunn, he had a little breakout game too. 6 for 11 off the bench. You know what I'm saying? And then although Iguodala didn't score, and he didn't have that good of a game. He was 0 for 2 from the field. He had 5 fouls. Yeesh.
Mm.
A foul for every 4 minutes. Um, so that was tough. But you know what? When you look at the stats, you would have thought that the Lakers would have won this game. I mean, other than Jimmy Butler's 35-point triple double, Anthony Davis had 28 and LeBron had 40, 13, and 7. You would have thought that the Lakers would have blown the Heat out. No, no, no. But that did not happen. That was not the case. You want to know why? Dwight Howard, 15 minutes, 2 points. Danny Green, 24 minutes, 8 points. Markieff Morris, 23 minutes, 0 points. And then you got 7, 4, and 3 from Kuzma, Rondo, and Caruso, respectively, off the bench. That is not going to cut it. I questioned if the Lakers were going to be able to close out games these playoffs. And so far, they have shown me that they can. But now when it comes to the finals, now when it comes to these bench players that have never won a ring before, can they close out? That is going to be the good question.
Yeah. I mean, who would have thought that? I'm sorry, I keep on having to bring up KCP's name, but this is Contavious Caldwell Pope. This man actually is showing up in the finals. I never thought I would ever say that. That is so crazy to me, and it's honestly crazy that LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and KCP have been, or at least for the last game, were the only players to actually perform well, which is insane. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, I really feel like the game was controlled by fouls. Really, it would stop momentum. It would almost like start momentum as well. The Heat would make 2 free throws at the line,
Mm-hmm.
go down. Anthony Davis gets fouled, make 2 free throws at the line. It would be back and forth fouls, especially towards the end of the game. To me, that kind of almost ruins it. But hey, if that's what it takes to win it, that's what it takes to win.
Yeah, and one last thing, dude. Do you know how much of a cultural impact, a social impact that the Miami Heat will have on this world if they pull off this 3-1 comeback?
Yeah, I that would be crazy. But dude, we predicted Lakers in 4. I don't think the Heat have enough to come back. I think the Lakers are going to fix what they did wrong, and I think they are going to be able to close it out. But I don't think the Heat. I think it might go to Game 7. Honestly,
And then they'll fizzle out in game 7.
yeah.
Oh, dude. I know Laker fans are just chewing their nails right now because they sure was ready to celebrate. I seen people bring out the whole Kobe jerseys. Anthony Davis had the saucy shoes on. Obviously, they said, you know what, screw bringing out the Mamba jerseys in a potential game 7. We're gonna bring it out for game 5. It's over, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, if the Heat can do it for 2 more games, Oh baby, oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this. I'm gonna have so much fun.
That would I can't even think. That's so crazy. I mean, I like we said, we thought the Heat were done. They are far from that.
Far from it. And LeBron, how unbelievably ironic. If he blows a 3-1 lead, you would think that the GOAT discussions would be put on hold permanently for now,
Yeah,
I should say.
that is true. I mean, he hasn't really fared well in the finals, but it should be interesting to see how this one turns out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this, but that's not the only postseason drama going on, buddy. We got some crazy stuff going on in the MLB too. I want to talk about the ALDSs first, bro. Tampa Bay actually eliminated the Yankees, bro.
Dude, that was the biggest revenge home run that I've seen in a while. I can't really pronounce or remember the Tampa Bay Rays player who hit the home run, but just know earlier in the season he got hit square in the head by Aroldis Chapman in the postseason. It's a different environment. Instead of taking one to the head, he takes one to left field and basically calls game. What a home run! What a series! And I'm looking forward to Tampa Bay Astros.
I'm gonna call him Mike Broso because that is exactly what he was, a bro. That dude absolutely came up clutch. I was sitting here thinking, okay, the Yankees offense is gonna have to step up, is gonna step up at some point, right? So the Rays are gonna have to do something. They did that, and the Yankees did nothing. I'm like, yo, I ain't never seen a shift in momentum this crazy because you looked at game one, you're thinking, oh, the Yankees gonna come out firing on all cylinders. It's gonna be bad. Then game two, the Rays almost blew a lead. They almost blew a 3-run lead in the ninth inning. They could have, but they got it done with their bullpen. Just barely. Pete Fairbanks. He bended, but he didn't break. And then game three, the Rays just said, "Hold on, let's close out this series in game four." And then the Yankees said, "Nope, let's close out the series in game five." And then the Rays said, "Nope, you're going home." Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, that was honestly, it doesn't even feel real that the Yankees lost because to me, I felt that they played really well. Uh, I mean, their pitching was pretty good. Obviously, their bats were really good as well, but it just almost feels weird that they lost. Like, they played really well. This is probably one of their best teams that they've had in a long time, and they still can't go far and deep into the postseason.
Yeah, and Yankee fans will always be mad at this fact. That loaded offense, Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, Gardner, LeMahieu, Urshela, that offense produced 1 run and 3 hits in a winner take all game. That is going to set a fan base on fire.
I don't know what needs to change because really it's I don't know what's wrong with them because their team is really set to win the World Series every single year and they can never ever pull through. It's crazy to me. I don't understand why they can't do better in the postseason.
I don't understand it either. I thought they were going to go ahead and pull a Yankee and get to the World Series because I felt like this was the year for the Yankees to get over the Astro hump. But it turns out the Astro hump didn't even they couldn't even get to the Astro hump because they got to the Rays stop sign and they couldn't even get past that without getting ticketed by the Rays and sent back to New York. That was so bad. That looks so bad on the Yankees because it's like you look at the Rays and you think, oh, they used to be the laughing stock of the AL East, right behind the Yankees and the Red Sox all the time. And when the Blue Jays were on the rise, they would be behind them. When the Orioles were on the rise, they'd be behind them. Had only one ALCS appearance in history. You guys suck. No, you guys have no fans. No, I'll tell you what, Drew. Tampa Bay, they got a real good chance here. You know what? Everybody's going to be rooting for them. You want to know why? Because the Houston Astros are their opponent. And I did not expect the Oakland Athletics to go out like that.
Yeah, that was very disappointing. Every single game honestly was disappointing even though how many home runs were hit in total? I last time I saw it was 23.
Dude, in a 4-game series, oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'll tell you what, it was a very entertaining series if you loved offense. If you love offense, that series was for you. Hand gifted, wrapped up just for you.
Yeah, if you loved offense, this one was for you, but if you hate the Astros, this one wasn't. Uh that was it was disappointing because it felt like the Yankees Indians game 3 all over again. Literally, one team would hit a home run, take the lead. 2 innings later, another team would score 5 runs. Next inning, the A's score 4 runs to take the lead back, and it would just go up and down. But it seemed like the Astros always pushed ahead towards the end and ultimately won the series 3-1, which was very disappointing. I mean, I I get this from a lot of Astros fans. They're always saying, "Oh, uh, uh, experience is what beats a young team." Well, that experience is going to have to come into play this next series.
Yeah, especially if this Rays pitching staff can hold the Yankees to 1 run in 9 innings. Uh, yeah, you had better keep getting high. You know what? How convenient is it that the Astros just now get this team was 29-31 in the regular season, and they found the perfect time to get hot.
It's almost annoying. It's annoying to me because it looks so misleading on paper, but then once they hit the field, you're like, "Oh no, this is not good."
Dude, you know how anticlimactic it would be if the Astros swept the ALCS?
Dude, and the last thing I want to see is a Dodgers Astros World Series.
Oh boy.
I mean, hey, actually, it may be entertaining. I'm trying to see Joe Kelly with a little like sad face again.
Drew, if Astros Dodgers World Series Part 2 would be a very entertaining series, but it would be a very awkward one as well, you know?
So yeah, I wouldn't even really care. I'd be like, it'd almost be like the Lakers and the Heat. Just uh, these two teams almost are expected to get to the World Series every year, and look at here they are.
Yeah, at least it has a juicy storyline behind it. Lakers Heat has a good storyline too. LeBron James' former team against LeBron James' current team, but still, dude, that World Series would have so much significance on the MLB because it's like everybody hates the Astros and everybody wants to love the Dodgers now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Dodgers are the second hated team behind the Yankees, which is crazy because during this postseason, it's far from that. It feels, but man, this is set up to be a pretty exciting ALCS.
Yeah, but speaking of the Dodgers, dude, they haven't lost a postseason game yet, but the Padres did expose some holes.
Like I said, pitching from the opening series against the Cardinals, I could see pitching was going to be a problem. I mean, like we saw towards the end of the games against the Cardinals, the Padres would take a big lead. I mean, not too big, but like maybe 4 runs, definitely some insurance runs, and then a few pitches later, the game's within one. So I knew pitching was going to be a problem, especially with Clevenger hurt. He only lasted about an inning, right, in his first outing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that does not help. I mean, their pitching, something needs to happen. They still need to definitely improve in the pitching, but their offense, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. Aside from the last game, it wasn't bad. I mean, in all reality, the Padres should have won game 2, but Cody Bellinger said no. He literally said no. But yeah, I wouldn't say the Padres are far from getting to that top tier as a team, but they definitely need to evaluate the pitching and just just the pitching is the big key in my opinion.
yeah, because you can hit all the home runs, this is a perfect example, especially for the Reds. You can hit all the home runs you want in the regular season, but you're gonna have to stop the other team from getting home runs and runs in the postseason because you can't always assume that your offense is gonna give you 4 or 5 runs a game.
Yeah, I mean, I said this I'm last time maybe, but I felt that the Brewers had a better pitching staff than the Padres, and it honestly kind of proved. It proved to be right. I felt like the Brewers had a better pitching staff, so they were able to shut down the Dodgers just a little bit, and then the Padres, they were almost kind of equal on the offensive side, but the pitching is not good. Aside for the one rookie who made his debut, he was lights out.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's going on with these young guys in this MLB generation, but I'm loving it right now.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely loving it. And you know what? Speaking of young guys, Kyle Wright from the Atlanta Braves. That man close out, shut out against a team that had never lost a postseason series in their franchise history. Clutch.
yeah, that was this series. The first game was fun. The first game was fun. The game 2 and game 3 were not fun. I mean, we almost got some fireworks in game 1.
Yeah.
We almost got some fireworks. We saw a, a potential. I wouldn't say it was intentional, but Ronald Acuna thought it was.
Mhm.
Uh yeah, and then, took the Twitter, said they hit me because they can't get me out. And then I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, I like Ronald Acuna Jr., but it was funny because he tweeted again, he tweeted they hit me because they can't get me out. Game 2, I think he struck out almost every single at bat.
Yeah, but I mean, the pitching staff made up for it because I mean, look, the Braves after that 9-run outburst in game 1, that's how many runs they scored in the next 2 games. 9. They had 2 in game 2 and 7 in game 3. But here's the difference. After allowing 5 runs to the Marlins in game 1, they never scored again.
Mm-mm.
They went complete Cincinnati mode. Oh,
Dude, I guess that's what happens when you play the Braves. Hey, that's good for Braves fans going up against the Dodgers.
oh, dude, literally. The Braves are allowing 1 run per game. They've played 5 postseason games, and they have allowed 5 runs total.
Yeah, I believe 4 shutouts in the first 6 games of the postseason is the most of all time.
5. Not they didn't even
Yeah.
they didn't even need 6. They only needed 5 because they were getting out the broom so often. But you know what? You got to give props to Miami Marlins. I know people will say, "Well, it was an extended postseason, so of course they got in. You're gonna see some weird teams," but we didn't think Miami was like that, especially during their COVID outbreak. We didn't think they were gonna, come out here and go above 500.
Yeah, they revamped their entire team during that outbreak. Literally had to sign, I believe, 19 free agents and people off of waivers and stuff like that. That was insane. And hey, they were second in the NL East, so I was impressed. I don't think it was just a fluke that they were in, and hey, if they can continue this going into next season, I think they could be a team that is here to stay.
Yeah, dude, but in all reality, I mean, they are done for the season, but you got to give them props. Got to give them props, of course. But dude,
Yeah,
we got some LCSs to talk about, bro. Who is going to the World Series? Let me start with the ALCS.
and this one almost it's tough to pick. It really is because I could see it going either way. What we've seen from the Astros has been impressive. I've been impressed, but I've also been disappointed in the teams that have played them. The Astros, I mean, literally they have fantastic offense, which is no surprise. I mean, so do the Rays, but the Rays are almost sneaky.
Mhm.
The Rays are a sneaky offensive team. Once you think they're down and out, they're not. And they're able to muster up a few home runs, maybe get some runners on, get a few clutch hits. Uh this one is gonna be so close, dude. But honestly, I just unfortunately I do not see the Rays winning the series. It really that hurt me.
Mm.
That really did. Actually, screw that. I picked the Tampa Bay Rays to go to the World Series, and that's what I'm gonna do. I just switched it up on you. Yeah, I got the Rays going to the World Series. I switched it up. You thought I was gonna pick the Astros. You were wrong. I'm picking the
Was
Rays.
that intentional?
Yes. No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be intentional too. Um, I will say this though: the emergence of Randy Arozarena just made a Tampa Bay offense even that much more lethal.
Yeah, he's been good.
That dude showed up and against a really good Yankees pitching staff, really good. Um, I have to sit and think. I mean, this is basically Astros, just trying to beat the mirror image of themselves right now because I feel like both teams are very similar. They have a good core. They have a great core, and then they have good role players, and their pitching staff has been really good. I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't want to say the Astros because well, look at the runs they gave up to the Athletics, but still, this is how I'm looking at it. Superman versus Lex Luthor, Spider Man versus Mysterio, Batman versus the Joker, Tampa Bay Rays versus Houston Astros. Um, I have to take the Tampa Bay Rays, man. I think this run. I know they really partied hard when they beat the Yankees, had a dance off, got real lit
I
with the
saw that.
celebrations, trolled the Yankees. I mean, who wouldn't troll the Yankees after being dragged through the mud like they have? Who wouldn't? But you know what? The Rays, everybody in the baseball world is basically rooting for them. If you are not a Houston Astros fan, you're basically rooting for the Rays. And you know what? That's a lot of pressure for the Rays, for the young Tampa Bay Rays. But you know what? You got to look at it this way, Drew. Experience doesn't always win you championships. We had no idea that the Nationals were going to come out here and win every single game in Houston, in their backyard, at the site where cheating was taking place. Probably not during that World Series specifically, but formerly where that cheating was taking place. They came into Houston, won 4 games, and took the championship home. The Nationals of all teams, and look at them now. They weren't fully loaded. The whole team wasn't back, but still, we didn't expect the Nationals to be a dynasty. So my point is that the Rays can definitely be that next Nationals team, although they were the number 1 seed in the AL and the Nationals were just a wild card. I'm just saying that impact will still be the same on the Astros. I got the Rays going to the World Series too, man.
Yeah, I know I switched it up, but I'm confident in my pick. This kind of almost reminds me of like a Lakers Nuggets series because
Hmm.
one team has been I would consider the Lakers the Astros in the playoffs because obviously the Astros were not good in the regular season, but they're always going to be notorious for getting to the championship. So I would say that this is similar to a experienced team against a I wouldn't say non-experienced, but definitely a young team. And I just feel like the Rays are so unique. I feel like there's like the Nuggets of the MLB. I mean, we saw what they did in the outfield. They put 4 people in the outfield and didn't have a third baseman. I had never seen that shift before, and I was mind blown. That was crazy. And then we've seen what they do with the different um, pinch hitters. Their pinch hitter literally won them the series. Um, I just love everything about the Rays, but it's going to be a tough series, and I'm confident with switching the pick intentionally and picking the Rays. But next we have the Braves and the Dodgers. This one's going to be close. What are you thinking?
Well, I don't think you will hear any from this series, but you know that signals no trash cans. But I will say this, Drew. I think this will be the world's largest in-dale cocktail party in the World Series. What do I mean by that? I think this will be a World Series where we see a team from Florida in the Tampa Bay Rays and a team from Georgia in the Atlanta Braves. I actually think that the Atlanta Braves will pull off this upset. Why? Because I look at their pitching staff and I think to myself, look, this is the postseason. This is no longer the regular season. And they come out here and they shut out their opponent 4 times in 5 games. And their offense has come alive since the Red Series, too. That offense has now gotten back to Brave status. You know, they have awakened. But I'm a bit worried about the Dodgers, too. You want to know why? Because I'm worried about their closers. I saw
Yeah.
against the Padres in Game 2, they had a 3-run lead in the ninth inning, and then next thing you know, it's bases loaded, 1-run game, and you almost got screwed. But you better thank God Eric Hosmer hit a soft ground ball to the second baseman, because if that was anybody else on the plate, that would not have been a ground ball. But I'm just worried about that Dodgers, pitching staff. That offense hasn't been as explosive as we thought it would up until Game 3. Because Game 2, they had the normal, they had that one inning. Like in games 1 and 2, they had that one inning where they just exploded and pulled away. But that's not going to cut it against the Braves offense. It will be. I expect a shootout. I mean, I expected a shootout ages ago from the Reds, but that failed miserably. But these two teams are more acclimated to being offensively explosive. But you know what? Atlanta, I know they have a history of choking, a history of not making it, not getting over the hump. But you know what? The Braves are going to take one for the Falcons. They're going to take one for the Hawks. They're going to take one for what? I know they're not a franchise anymore, but I'll say they'll take one for the Thrashers too, and they
I
will
knew it
put
was
Atlanta
coming.
on their shoulders and go to the World Series.
Wow. Wow. That that was a shocker. Wow. I feel like these two teams are very similar. I feel like they're extremely similar in that even though when they're down, which hasn't been a lot, that they will be able to come back no matter how much they're down. And both of these teams, again, very similar in that I'm not confident in either of their pitching. You mentioned the closing. I really Kenley Jensen has not been the best closer in the past few years. He has been struggling. I remember when he was that dominant closer that would come in and was very reliable. Now they don't even know if Joe Kelly or Kenley Jensen is going to save games for them. That could be huge. But also the Braves, you mentioned the offense. I feel like these two offenses are very similar. They are both electric. I mean, one moment the game could be 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
One hit later, 4-4. That's how these two teams go about their offense. This is going to be a close series. I mean, I could see this one going to Game 7. I could see it going the distance, especially with fans. We're going to see fans in the stands for the first time.
Wow, no more. Well, I won't say no more cutouts because I think what I think would be cool is if they spread out the fans and have the cutout boards in between for
Yeah,
social distancing purposes.
that would be good. I think that would be funny. Good idea. But I think with that being said, I'm gonna take the Dodgers. I'm confident in that they can take this series from the Braves. I don't know if the Braves have the offense to keep up with the Dodgers. It's gonna be close, but the Dodgers, they're just an all-around good team aside from their closing. That's the one thing that could be their downfall going into the series.
Mm. All I gotta say is be careful with what you wish for, because you have had the short end of the stick with disagreeing with me in some games recently.
Hey, that's all right. I like taking the bold picks. I gotta take the counter argument sometime. Gotta make this exciting for the fans.
No, but I seriously think the Braves are gonna win this. It'll be a sweep. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Yeah,
Dude,
you didn't even.
if our faces were being recorded, my jaw just dropped. I was like, no way, no way, no way, no way.
Oh my gosh. I'm clipping that just in case that actually happens. But let's move on, bro, because we got some more jaw dropping stuff that happened in the world of college football. Andrew, what in the HA hockey stick E did I just see?
Uh, I, that was a pretty crazy weekend of college football.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to start off by rubbing some salt on you, bro. I told you that Texas A&M was going to be Florida.
You know what? That's okay because I had confidence in Florida. Hey, I like seeing upsets, so I'm not mad at the pick. I still feel like Florida should have won. I mean that it was a field goal that they lost to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
uh, It was a good pick. I respect the pick.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Realistically, this is a big one for Texas A&M. After losing to Alabama last week, people are thinking, "Oh, Texas A&M is overrated again. Oh boy, they can't beat a top 5 team." And now Jimbo Fisher has his signature win because that was a gutsy win, and that was a win that usually you don't see from the underdogs. I mean, the game was 31 all. Texas A&M fumbled, and Florida scored a touchdown off of that fumble. Usually after that, game is wraps. No, Mon threw a big bomb touchdown, and then they forced a fumble. They stripped the ball away from the running back of Florida, and then they went down, ran all the clock down, and kicked the game-winning field goal. You don't see that from underdogs very often.
No, that was a pretty exciting game.
Yes, and it was awesome. But you know what was more exciting? And you know what? I think I might take the salt back because I think I am very salty about this pick too. Because I picked Texas to win this game. I picked Texas to win this game. You picked Oklahoma to win this game. Everybody on the ESPN College Game Day panel chose Texas to win this game.
Why is everyone against me? It was the Chiefs in the NFL. Now it's in college football. Hey, I'm confident in my gut picks, and they have been usually successful when a lot of people go against me.
You're red blooded because you chose the
Yeah.
Chiefs and you chose the Sooners. And you know what, Drew? I was almost going to get on you because I was surprised that Texas had that 14.5-minute comeback in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. I thought the game was over when Sam Ellinger threw that interception with 5 minutes left, 5:12 left to go in the fourth quarter, down 14. I'm sitting here like, oh well, time to chalk one up in the prediction rivalry as an L. Wait a minute, hold on. And then you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. My man's Gus Johnson, the play-by-play guy for Fox. My man's Gus Johnson has had some crazy games to call this season. He had the K-State Oklahoma comeback, then he had the Texas TCU last second goal line fumble, and then he has this Red River. And yes, this was a shootout. This was very much indeed a shootout. Well named by whoever named this rivalry because that was the highest scoring game in the history in the 116 games. These two teams played 116 times against each other, and this was the highest scoring game in their history.
Yeah, that was, dude. I honestly thought it was over at the end of the second. I turned it off. I was like, yep, I was right about this pick. Oh no. And then I turned it on during, I think it was the second overtime. I was like, what happened? Really? This pick was such an upset pick, and it at least it turned out well. That's what I gotta say. At least it turned out in favor for me. It was a pretty exciting game, honestly. It was actually not just pretty exciting. That was an exciting game.
Yes, dude. And you know what? In the third overtime, it felt like a swing. It felt like back and forth, just gut punches to both fan bases. Because when Oklahoma blocked that Texas field goal, I was like,
You thought it was, yeah.
crap, it's over. But my man's Burkich, I don't know how you pronounce his name, I forgot. But my man's the Oklahoma kicker hooked a 31 yarder to the left in the Texas end zone in front of the Longhorn fans. I was like, oh snap, this crap just got real. And then Gus Johnson was like, oh, he missed it. College football. I was like, see, this is why I love Gus Johnson. This is the man that makes me want to be a sports broadcaster right there. That man was so juiced in his calls. It was so amazing. But that game was going to come down to whose offense fizzled out first.
Yeah, I mean, the game's crazy when you see back-to-back missed game-winning field goals.
Mm-hmm. And you know what?
That would,
Texas, they had the offense late. They had scored 3 touchdowns in a row, outscored Oklahoma 21 to nothing. But I mean, Sam Ellinger threw that interception in the end zone. What is it with throwing interceptions in the end zone to lose football games nowadays?
we're back. Are you? Are you? Are you? Are you?
Oh my
They're
god!
about to be unranked. I didn't think I was gonna see Oklahoma and Texas both unranked this season, but
At the
here we
same
are.
time,
Yeah.
oh, dude, this stuff is crazy. And you know what? I thought an upset was gonna happen in Athens, Georgia.
Yep.
I was looking at the end of the first. I was like, huh? Tennessee got a goal line stand and they kept the lead through a half of football out on the road against the third ranked Bulldogs. I'm sitting here like, and I texted you, hey Tennessee, I'm here for an upset. After I sent that text message, the Volunteers scored not another point the entire game. Drew, I was like, I should have kept my
Yeah.
mouth shut.
Hey, I thought I when you said an upset, I thought you were going to talk about Alabama Ole Miss. That was a crazy game. That I
Yeah.
think they said that was one of the highest scoring games, or not most yards scored in top. It's got to be top five most total yards of all time. It was a pretty crazy game. I thought Ole Miss was going to be able to pull off the upset. They were very creative in their play calling, but man, Najee Harris in Alabama,
Oh my
they
god.
they they went off.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I was sitting here thinking, and the commentators thought that the onside kick for Ole Miss was a bad idea. I actually thought that was a good idea because, I mean, at least to try it, because I mean, first of all, Alabama's not expecting that. Second of all, you know you cannot stop Alabama's offense with a tired defense. That defense for Ole Miss was gassed. And now you have a chance to finally get the one up on Alabama. This was basically a video game type game because it was like both
Yes,
offenses, you score back and forth touchdowns, absolutely no punts whatsoever, no turnovers. And the only thing that'll stop you is who fizzles out, who gets that one punt, who gets that one stop.
dude. Yeah, it was like a video game. I saw towards the end of the game, it was like Ole Miss's defense literally just stood still and let Najee Harris run up the middle.
Oh my god.
Literally, no one touched him. I think twice in a matter of 3 plays, 2 touchdowns. Crazy.
Yeah, dude, that was absolutely insane. That game was crazy. And Alabama, that offense is clicking, but you got to look at that defense. You gave up 48 to an Ole Miss team. Uh, I mean, Ole Miss's offense isn't terrible, but the way they were hanging around, I know their future opponents are going to take clips from that.
Dude, yeah, I feel like they have success in their future, especially with the new coaching staff. I like what I saw. I mean, I just like the creativity. When I see teams being creative, especially against Alabama and being close to pulling off an upset, I like to see that.
Yeah, I loved it. But you want to know another upset that could have happened? Miami Clemson. Oh, wait, never mind. That was an absolute blowout, a catastrophe, if you will. That was not a good performance by Miami. But you know what? This is another example about how far ahead Clemson is compared to the rest of the ACC.
Not even it was funny because last week you're like, all right, here could be a potential upset. We got Clemson, Miami, and you're like, all right, who do you got? Clemson. No, no question.
No.
No question. No question. Clemson is again the best team in college football.
Yeah, undoubtedly. They looked absolutely unstoppable. And that, I mean, Miami's lone touchdown in the first half came off of a blocked field goal. And they got a garbage time touchdown in the fourth quarter by Derek King, who had 2 interceptions. He was 12 for 28 for 121 passing yards and threw 2 interceptions. That Clemson defense locked him up.
Yeah, that was there. It's impressive. It really is.
Oh my gosh, dude. And that's it's sad to see because it's like this was the week that Miami was supposed to be back. The U is back, baby. But I got Miami's. I guess they're just not that. They're just not back on that level yet, man. I wanted them to be back on that level. I wanted to see if they could beat Clemson, but that was no contest. That was no contest. Even if it was in Miami, maybe because I mean some teams just win games just because they're the home team in college football, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because when I go back to school this week, I know I'm gonna have a teacher venting to me because one of my teachers is a huge Miami Hurricanes fan. Um, and he was hype about the game all week, and I'm just like, oh boy, this could be very bad for you, and it was very bad. So I gotta dissect the film and figure out what the heck happened, and Well, I mean, Miami has a decent schedule going forth. The only two big games they have left is at Virginia Tech and at home versus North Carolina. That's it, and that doesn't come until what, a month, two later. So,
Yeah.
so yeah. But Miami, I think this might have knocked them out of the college football playoff race, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how the rest of the season goes.
Yeah, because if we get a lot of top five losses, then maybe Miami could come back. But you know what? I wanted to highlight one more crazy game. Bro, I don't know if you saw Arkansas Auburn. I know the game looked It was a very unsexy matchup. You would think Auburn would win in this, and Arkansas is not for real. Blah 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 blah. But that finish, Arkansas should have won that game.
Yeah, I did not see it, but I did see the score. It looked pretty exciting. And again, I did not think you were gonna bring up that game because we also had another upset. LSU lost.
Dude, what is going on? Dude,
Uh,
LSU about to be unranked.
I think they are. I think they're definitely 100% going to be not ranked. I mean, they like like everyone said their defense looked very disappointing. I think this is I can't remember if it was the most yards they've given up or the most points they've given up in the start of the season, but it's definitely the worst in their history. They had never given up this many points in yards in a few games, and look where we are. Again, they don't look good.
No, they do not. And I feel bad for one of my Tiger buddies because this is atrocious. A loss to Mississippi State, and then they had first and goal at the 1 with 40 seconds left on the clock, and they could not punch it in. That is tough.
Yikes.
Tough. So tough. And it doesn't get any easier. You got to go to Florida. Done.
To uh if that's the first prediction and first pick of the week, I'm picking Florida. I'm gotta go with again, me being the Florida native. I say this every week. Gotta go with Florida. Not the biggest Florida fan, but LSU looks bad, and I'm gonna take Florida because again, LSU looks bad.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and make some picks because this is a very interesting week because it's not like there's any big giant marquee matchups outside of the SEC. But like you said, dude, I know Florida just lost to Texas A&M, but that was a very good loss compared to what LSU has gone through. They've lost to Mike Leach in Mississippi State, who had just lost to Arkansas. Got their offense came crashing right back down to earth the next week, and then you lose to Missouri. Sure, the game was at Missouri when it was supposed to be at LSU, but you can't do anything about a hurricane. You can't do anything about the weather. But dude,
Yeah.
I don't think LSU. If LSU pulls this off, oh boy, do they have a lot of bragging rights over Florida. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Florida's gonna pull this one out easily.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what? The picks don't get any. The picks get a little harder from here on. Because Drew, I have a question for you. Because with the losses that we've had, North Carolina could be moving up to number 6 in the polls.
They look good.
Is this team for real?
Just wait till the Big Ten comes back, and then we'll decide. Well, we'll see if some Big Ten teams look a lot better than North Carolina right now. I think it's hard to tell, but with their matchup against Florida State, I think they are going to take this one very easily. I just Florida State ugly. They're not good. They haven't been good since Jameis Winston.
Yeah, and
And
they made it interesting versus Notre Dame last night, and then Notre Dame just turned on the gas. Um,
yeah,
this is the first true road game for this really good North Carolina team. This is the game where we're gonna figure out if they are on the way to being for real, because obviously they are not the most prolific football program on the planet, or even in their own conference.
oh no, no, no! What do you mean? Mitchell Trubisky came from there.
Oh,
Come
shut
on.
up, dude. My man started 1 year, got drafted second overall. That was BS in its own echelon. Don't even.
Oh man.
Don't even try me with. Don't even try to hit me with that. Lost in the Sun Bowl to Stamp. Man, get out of here with that mess. But
So they're not prolific?
true, true, true. I still got North Carolina because Trubisky's
Yeah.
not the quarterback, and Sam Howell
Dude,
is.
don't you don't you don't you wish Mitchell Trubisky came from this North Carolina team?
You know, there's a reason why my Bears jersey has Israel on his nameplate and not Trubisky. You know what I'm saying? There's a big reason. Okay, I'm moving on from this. I'm getting heated. Okay, Oklahoma State and Baylor. This is another potential trap game, and it's on AB. It is on ABC Saturday Night Prime. This is the game selected to be the primetime marquee matchup: Oklahoma State and Baylor.
I could see that easily. Both of these teams, I think, again, are similar. I feel like both of these teams could easily win. I mean, this one's tough, but I think I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. I feel like their offense is really good. I mean, Baylor, their offense is really good, but I just think Oklahoma State's a better team.
Yeah, and although Oklahoma State did have a little bit of a scare against Tulsa to start the year, you know, they really kicked it up a notch, and we got to see what their offense was capable of. And they've done some really good stuff. Shane Illingworth has proven to be a good starting quarterback. Obviously, they still have Chuba Hubbard, you know, at running back. And they have a
Yeah,
good wide receiver corps too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Oklahoma State, but I would not be surprised if Baylor won this game because Big 12 upsets have been aplenty so far this season.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, but we got game of the year status apparently because we got Georgia and Alabama.
That's. I mean, I'm gonna take Alabama. I feel I don't see Georgia getting the upset here. I hope it's a good game. I really do. I hope it is a good game. But I just don't see it. I don't see Georgia pulling off the upset.
I will say this. Shout out to CBS for not making this a 2:30 game and making it a 7 p.m. game. Shout out to CBS for doing that because I hate when these matchups are 2:30 games. Well, last year when LSU Alabama was a 2:30 game, I was hot because I was at the same time I was doing my playoff football game,
Hmm.
which was very lit in its own echelon. But dude, I am so glad they made this a night game. So glad. But at Alabama, after dropping 63 on Ole Miss on the road, eh, I don't know, man. Alabama is Alabama. So I got Bama. Georgia, their offense came alive in that second half, but I mean, Alabama's Alabama. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see anyone beating Alabama, aside for maybe Clemson or maybe even in Auburn towards the end of the year. I don't see it.
Oh yeah, dude. This is gonna be a very interesting. This is gonna be a week of college football where traps could be set because outside of Georgia, Alabama, it's basically upset games from here on out.
Yeah,
So we will see, but there will be somebody moving into the top five because if Georgia or Alabama loses, obviously they're gonna get out the top five. So yeah, but let's move on to pro football because we got a lot of events that happen. Okay, so COVID strikes again, COVID strikes again, and COVID strikes again.
dude. I last night watching the Alabama Ole Miss game, I saw that the Bears had some positive tests along with the Chiefs. So that's not good.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, man. No travel restrictions, no schedule changes prior to the season starting. Coming back to bite Roger Goodell in the NFL right in the cell. I
Yeah,
did not intend for that to rhyme, but um, dude, this is a very shortened slate of games here. This is out here looking like a bootleg week 10. Um, yeah, this is not good. And then you had a third shutdown to the Patriots facility in the last 10 days or whatever, and yeah,
yeah.
it's just not looking good. The Titans and the Patriots, this is not good. This is not a good outlook on the NFL.
This is yeah. At this point, we're gonna see games on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Oh
Friday.
man,
Dude,
it's
bad.
gonna be so awkward. It's going to be so awkward. But you know what, Drew? I will say this. I told you so. Again. I told you the Bears were gonna beat the Bucks. I wasn't too hype about the pick. I'm not gonna act like I was like, oh, Tom Brady's gonna get rattled by that defense. I'm not gonna act like I said that, but I will say that was a very exciting game, Drew. You cannot deny that.
Yeah, also kind of disappointing. I thought, Tom Brady would know how to count on his fingers 1 through 4, but I guess not. That was I still don't think. Sorry, but I don't think the Bears are that good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. They really haven't showed me anything like superstar like team. I mean, really, they haven't had. That game was probably their most impressive win,
Oh
obviously.
yeah, without a doubt.
But other than that, the teams that they've played also have not really been great. I mean, their loss coming to the Colts, okay, but other than that, their wins just.
Just don't worry. We'll find out on October 26th when they visit LA on Monday Night Football. We'll find out what this team is really made of for sure.
Yeah.
But for now, I guess we should try to make some Week 5 picks on this extremely underwhelming slate of football
Yeah.
game.
Real quick, I just looked over the picks and you said last week was really bad. This week is worse. Every single game is
Garbage,
ugly.
garbage. Even the prime. You know what? The game of the week is Colts Browns. Game of the week.
Yeah,
Calling it.
yeah. That's literally the only one that I saw. Like, this is ugly. Every single game has, you would think, a clear winner. I mean, every. This is ugly. I mean, let's just go. I think we can get this over pretty quickly.
Yeah, let's run through it. Panthers Falcons. Teddy Bridgewater is going to go off on the Falcons. Dan Quinn might get fired on Tuesday. I got the Panthers.
I also got the Panthers. The Falcons are terrible.
Yeah. You know what? I will say this about the Panthers. If they go above 500, watch out. And next week's game, they have the Bears in Week 6, and that should be the prove it game for both of those teams. But you know what?
Yeah.
Right now, this is basically a warm up for the Panthers. Although the Falcons have had their number over the years, but not this time. Not this time.
No, this is a good chance to get their team reacclimated for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Raiders Chiefs. Are we really gonna choose Patrick? Are we really gonna choose Patrick Mahomes over Derek Carr? Of course we are. I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
I say this every week.
Oh,
I've never bet against Patrick Mahomes, the former Detroit Tigers draft pick. That's not the reason I pick him every time, but it's just because he has been literally fantastic. I haven't seen a quarterback be this dominant probably ever. Like they look unbeatable. We've said this from game one. They look unbeatable. And I mean Patrick Mahomes, 13-1 career record over AFC West opponents. Come on,
uh, and the one loss
Chiefs.
coming to the Chargers on Thursday Night Football by 1
Yeah,
point.
and that was a great game too.
Yeah,
And Chiefs, simple
yeah,
Chiefs.
Chiefs. But you speak about great quarterbacks. Hey, Joe Flacco for the Jets and Le'Veon Bell coming off of IR. The Jets are looking really good right now. Yeah, they look really good. And you know what? Last time I picked the New York Jets to win a football game, they had the lead twice and they blew it.
Dude, and Sam Darnold looked like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Dude, dude was doing spins and running up and down the field. That was funny. But I think we know who is going to win this game. Not the
Yay!
Jets. Not the Jets.
Yeah,
I got the
no.
Cardinals.
No. The Cardinals are losing this game. If they lose this game, their season's over. Their season is done. If they lose to the New York Jets, this season is not looking really good for the Cardinals. The Cardinals will win this game.
Yeah, I think the Jets are the worst team. I think they have the potential to go 0-6.
Yeah. Ugh. Yuck. Okay. Battle of Pennsylvania, which is definitely still Pennsylvania and not Wentzylvania because Carson Wentz has not been all that good, although he did get a win at San Francisco. That's not going to carry this Eagles team over an undefeated Steelers team. I got the Steelers.
I also have the Steelers. I think all of our picks may be the exact same this week.
We got a lot in
Crazy.
common.
Yeah, we got a lot in common in picking garbage games.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, next game. The Rams and the football team of Washington with Dwayne Haskins as a third stringer. Yay!
You know what? I think the Rams are a good football team. I think the football team is not a good football team. I got the Rams.
Yeah.
Simple.
These are so many trap games, man. So many trap games. But I'm gonna take the Rams too. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it's close because fatigue could be a factor. I mean, look at the Rams. Had to go from LA to Philly and back. Had to go from LA to Buffalo and back. Now you gotta go to the east, back to the East Coast, gotta go to Maryland again, and face the Washington football team. I wouldn't be surprised if airplane fatigue gave them some troubles, but that team is just too good. And I say they're too good because the Washington football team is that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, not as bad as the Jets though. Always keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
Not as bad as the Jets. They did beat the Philadelphia Eagles, who beat
Yeah.
the San Francisco 49ers, who beat the New
Which
York
then
Jets.
makes the football team better than the 49ers.
Yeah. by process of elimination, Rams, 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 Rams.
Yes, I agree. Rams.
Now, okay, realistically, we have what could be a good quarterback matchup. Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson for the first time. Bengals Ravens. Um Ravens.
Ravens as well. I don't see the Bengals getting close to the Ravens today.
Yeah.
They don't have a good defense, so that's really going to help them in stopping Lamar Jackson in that very explosive, fast offense.
Yeah. Okay, we got a potential shootout in Houston. Put quotes around that. The Jaguars and the Texans, fresh off of a Bill O'Fried. I like that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that I just said Bill O'Fried, a combination of fired and O'Brien.
Nice. This one, I literally, this one could be one that we do not agree on. The Texans haven't looked good. The Jaguars look good for one game. This is actually a tough one to pick.
Oh my goodness, what a tough pick. You know what?
I'm gonna pick the Jaguars.
I was not just. I had a feeling. I had a feeling, man. But you know what? Just to make this week interesting, I mean, this could go either way. Both teams are bad in their own rights. But you know what? I think Houston has a fresh start. Romeo Crennel, I think he has a fresh start. There was a lot of toxicity with Bill O'Brien over there. I think this is the game. I think this is a wake up game for the Texans against this Jaguars team. This has to be the wake up game. If this Houston team loses to the Jaguars at home, I feel like the Texans are going to waste Deshaun Watson's talent.
Dude, yeah, this is like Detroit all over again. Come on. I feel like the Texans, this could be a blowout for them, but I think they haven't looked good, so I'm going to pick the Jags.
Yeah, I'll pick the Texans. We finally have something interesting.
All right, that may be it. That may be it, though.
Yeah. Okay, next game, Dolphins Niners. Are we going to see some Fist magic?
Nope.
Uh, mm, no. 49ers.
No. Yeah, 49ers. Yep.
Game of the week. Game of the week alert. Game of the week alert. Even though it's not going to be on my local listings, game of the week alert. Colts Browns, baby.
Browns. I think the Browns. I hope they win this game, dude. I'd be so happy. 4-1 on a Browns record would be so cool. I like the Browns. I like how their jerseys look. I like how their players are playing. I like everything about them. I got Browns.
Oh, and the helmet is cool.
Yeah, the helmet is very cool. No logo, just orange.
Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Cleveland Browns too. This will be a very tough game, actually. Toughest game of the
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
The Colts defense is supposed to be the best in the league, and that Browns rushing attack is absolutely nasty, as we saw in Dallas last week. So this is the who's real and who's not game for both teams.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see the Browns in the playoffs. I don't mind the Colts either, but man, I like the Browns. I like what they did against Dallas. I mean, to have that big of a lead and have the Cowboys to come all the way back, which demoralizes the entire momentum, no momentum whatsoever, to have the strength to be able to pull that one out after having that big lead is impressive. And I think they're gonna take that momentum into this game.
Yeah, that the Browns, if they win this game, folks, watch out. They are for real, and they will
Dude,
be
my
for real.
prediction from last year will be correct this year. I said they were gonna make the playoffs last year. They played terrible last year. Came out.
Oh my goodness! And you know what? The Browns give them credit because they got chewed out after they got blown out by the Ravens. Haven't lost since.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them this year.
Yes, and they are really gonna be a team that I look forward to seeing succeed because they have a really easy schedule going forward. But you know why I'm not gonna be able to watch the Colts Browns game? It's because of this game that has all the attention apparently. Giants Cowboys.
This is America's game of the week. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this one kind of. Yeah, this one is also tough, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys. This one actually, yeah, I don't know. I think the Cowboys. They've been close to winning. They had that one very lucky win over the Falcons, but I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott will be able to beat this Giants defense, which I couldn't name one player off of.
Um, well, this is awkward. Because last time I picked the Giants to win a football game, they couldn't even reach my jersey number. Um, yeah, I got the Cowboys here. I know Jason Garrett knows the Cowboys very well, but that's not going to help you when your team is garbage. You know.
Very true. Very true.
So, if dude, let's get something straight. Let's be real. If the Cowboys lose this game, Andrew, it's over. It's over. If I was Dak Prescott and I lost to a New York Football Giants team, I'm requesting a trade.
That division is so bad. That,
So
that division is so bad.
so garbage, bro. I would request a trade if I was Dak Prescott. There was a reason he did not sign that long-term deal.
So yeah, and honestly, he's a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. The only thing he can't do is win games.
Not with this team, man. You got to feel bad. What is up with the Texas teams wasting their quarterback talent, man? Wasted.
Yeah.
So terrible. But we got another terrible game on tap. The Vikings and the Seahawks on Sunday Night Football.
Seahawks. I'm just gonna cut you off there, Seahawks. Yeah.
No, this game is not going to be close. Russell Wilson cooking at home on prime time. Kirk Cousins basically sucks in prime time. More so on Monday Night Football than the others, but still, it's prime time. This Vikings team sucks. Um, they can cook, but they cannot outcook the chef. Okay, I got the Seahawks here, and the Vikings have not been able to beat the Seahawks in Seattle the last 2 years in prime time. It has been bad.
Yeah. This is going to be bad again. The Vikings don't look good.
Yeah, okay, we got Monday Night Football on tap, and this actually could be a very good game. Chargers Saints.
I'm going to pick the Chargers. I'm going to go with the upset here.
Mm.
The Saints, they were down 14-0 against the Lions with 10 minutes remaining in the first. I mean, Drew Brees threw an interception, his first pass attempt. They honestly did not look good, but it's so awesome how the Lions can make, or the Lions defense can make any quarterback look like Tom Brady, basically, especially, Mr. Trubisky. But it's the Lions defense that the Saints were playing, and to be honest with you, the Saints didn't look good. I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I like what the Chargers are doing. I like Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and last week's game against Tampa Bay gave me some hope for the future for the Chargers because, and I'm so glad Anthony Lynn decided to start Justin Herbert over Tyrod Taylor because that was
Yeah,
the best move for the franchise. There was no way that you were going to make progress with Tyrod Taylor. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but long term, you better get Justin Herbert his playing time. You drafted him for a reason to be your next guy. Okay.
It's so unfortunate. Tyrod Taylor, I just saw this the other day, and it's crazy. Tyrod Taylor takes the Bills to the playoffs. Next year, Josh Allen. They draft Josh Allen. He moves on to the Browns. Draft Baker Mayfield. Moves on to the Chargers. Drafts Justin Herbert.
The Tyrod Taylor
Wow.
effect.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. And he's not a bad quarterback, but like you said, best move for the Chargers to put Justin Herbert in. I like the move, and I think it will be successful in the long run.
Yeah, but I don't think it will be successful tomorrow night. Um,
Wow,
I'm actually
another disagreement.
yes, a very rare Week 5 disagreement. I'm actually going to go with the Saints here. Um, I think the game against the Lions, that was a game they absolutely had to win. If they lost to the Lions, your confidence is shattered. Um, I mean, just look at the Cardinals. They haven't won a game since they lost to the Lions. So, um, yeah, I think the Saints, that was a wake up call for them, down 14-0 to the Lions. I don't know if Michael Thomas will be back, but um, I think the Saints will be able to move the football with Alvin Kamara. You know, I like the Chargers. Their defense can be really good. They had a pick six against Brady last week. This game really could go either way. Both of these teams are pretty streaky, but I think this will be the Saints' night.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Now, one question is, will it be played in New Orleans or will it be played in Indianapolis?
Hmm.
That should be very interesting because obviously LSU Missouri was moved from LSU to Missouri because of the hurricane. Now, could the Saints be on the move too? I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the Bills earlier. They are circling the wagon so far, undefeated in the AFC East, and they have a prove it game against the Titans and vice versa.
I like again, I said this about the Browns. I like everything about the Bills. I love their team. I think they are a fantastic team. They have so many pieces, and I think they're going to beat the Titans. The Titans really have won every single game off of a field goal. So basically,
True.
they're and it's going to be tough after their breakout of the virus. I'm going to take the Bills. I think they are a better team.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills too. They had a game very similar to this with the Las Vegas Raiders, um, but they pulled away from that too, and I think they'll do the same to the Titans, especially after all the mess that they've been through with the no practice time. But you know what? Hey, some Tuesday night football doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, then right back on the field for Thursday. I do not think this game is going to stay. Do you? Like they have to move it.
No way. They're not going to make the Bills play 2 games in 3 days. They're going to move that Chiefs game to Sunday or move it later in the weekend. Maybe even make that a Monday nighter to accommodate for the Tuesdayness of the Bills Titans game. Or either
Yeah,
that. I mean,
there's
no, there's
there's
no
no
way.
way. Yeah.
There's no way. You
So
might as well just not have Thursday night football this week.
yeah, so I guess we'll have. I guess we will not pick the Thursday game this week because we don't know what's going to happen.
No. Yeah, we're not going to. No, no. Um, but just in case we do, I will have the Bills winning that game.
Wow, against the Chiefs?
Just in case it does happen on Thursday.
Okay,
Just in
okay.
case. If the NFL loses all of its brain cells and has the Bills play 2 games in 3 days, oh boy. Okay, never mind. If it's a Thursday nighter, then the Chiefs are gonna win that. If it's a Sunday game, the Bills will win it.
I agree. I actually no. I
I was
feel
about
like
to say.
the Chiefs again. They are. I don't see anyone beating them. I like the Bills so much. Chiefs are just on a different level.
Okay, I mean, last time you and I had disagreements on the Patrick Mahomes game, last 2 times, I got toasted.
Yep.
Toasted.
Get toasted again.
Third time's the charm, baby. Let's go. Circle the wagon. Oh my goodness.
Dude. Yeah. I guess we'll have to see who plays on Thursday, if anyone.
Oh no, nobody should be playing on Thursday. They're not gonna. I mean, how you gonna make somebody go from you're playing on the 18th to okay we're gonna schedule your game 3 days earlier and make you play on the 15th? How does that sound? No,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do that. No way. You're
Mm-mm.
not gonna have. You might as well just have not have a Thursday night football game. Um, but as a matter of fact, you know what? Because Patriots Broncos got postponed, I was thinking maybe they could make that the Thursday night football game, but they already moved that to next Sunday. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, the NFL. All I gotta say to y'all is good luck with the schedule. Good freaking luck because uh that's not good. That is not. This is not a good situation for the NFL. Um, that this is bad. Um, you guys better, get something going because, it's not gonna get easier from here. You can't just, say, okay, guys, you guys are gonna have a bye, and you guys get a bye, you get a bye, you get a bye. That's not gonna work.
It's gonna take too long. The season will never end.
Yeah, dude. But I did have a trivia question for you last week, and it was a pretty, interesting
I
one to
had
say the least.
I had two crazy guesses. I said it was either gonna be in like the 1920s or like the early 1900, but uh, or I said it could have been like last year. So
You know what?
let's see.
So you want to know the answer, right?
I do.
The last time it happened was 2010. 2010. That was
So
the last
I
time.
wasn't close. I
Yeah.
wasn't even like close whatsoever.
No, you
Wow.
weren't even in terms. I mean, you said 20s or 30s. I mean, if you meant 2020s, yeah, you were somewhat close. But I'm pretty sure you meant 1920s and 1930s. Uh,
Yikes.
yikes. um,
Ugh.
but the last time that there was an there that we had an AL East versus AL West ALCS and an NL East and NL West NLCS in the same postseason. It happened in 2010 when you had the New York Yankees and the Texas Rangers representing the East and the West for the ALCS, and then you had the Giants and the Phillies for the from the NL West and the NL East. That was the last time it was East versus West in both league championship series.
That's interesting. That really is interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too because I'm thinking to myself, it's not. I mean, obviously, we love to emphasize East Coast versus West Coast. Um, but when was the last time that both of those championship series were both East versus West? And I was
Yeah.
very interested, so I did my research, did my research on the LCS matchups over the past years, and I didn't stop until I found East versus West in both leagues, and there was 2010.
Nice. That was very interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, and I surely did fool you because you thought it was 1920
Or never. Or never.
or never, never. Come on, man, that's crazy. But I believe it's your turn.
Yeah. This week I'm gonna have probably one of our last MLB trivia questions. I mean, I guess we can do it when the season's over, but hey, might as well use them while the season's still going
Yeah,
on. So this one, it could be pretty easy. I mean, it's almost like this one is pretty almost obvious. I mean, when was the last time the MLB All Star Game was canceled?
another history question. Um, yeah, I know it had to have happened in some type of historical event or something like that. I just got to figure out which one.
Yeah, I mean, baseball longest active game probably, at least in the U.S. So something big must have happened to have it canceled, similar to what had happened this year. So again, when was the last time the MLB All Star Game was canceled? If you know the answer, hold on to it for next week.
Hmm. Okay, I'll be doing my research. But yeah, dude, we obviously talked about it a lot. We missed our over under of 60 minutes, 65 minutes by a landslide. Um, yeah, I mean, we still had a lot to talk about. I mean, that's just sports. That's just sports, man.
Yeah, it seems like the episodes are getting longer, which is insane. But again, I think it will uh, get a little bit shorter once the NBA Finals goes down, and same with the MLB postseason. Once those two um, get off of our slate, then I think we will be back to, let's say, 60-minute episodes.
Oh, such a long way we've come from a 58 minute first episode.
Yeah, this yeah, with no sports to talk about too.
Yeah, that's crazy though. But I guess for now, same time next week.
Yes, sir. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other streaming device. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias at Top of the Standings on Twitter and at Top of the Standings on Instagram and Facebook. This has been Top of the Standings. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys next week. And we'll see you guys next week.